Guys, welcome back to another Pikachu Peeps video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some calendars. So these are actually really cool calendars. They're made with paper and Lego, but it's really cool. So anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to make those. Take that piece of tape off. So yeah, I'm planning on releasing this sometime in March 2023. I don't know why I'm saying 2023. I don't put up my videos that much. I don't put off my videos that much, but we have a March one, but just in case, I also made an April one, and also since it's kind of nearing the end of the month, I just made it for myself too. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make them. If you don't have the pieces, then you could, like, for example, these base plates, not everyone has them. The ones I use are kind of like just these big base plates. You can even use, like, for my April one, I used, like, a road plate thing. Honestly, you want a nice big, just plate. You could, like, combine a bunch of other plates together to make a bigger plate. For example, this one right here is 4 of these. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so we got our 2 calendars here. We have March and we have April. You can choose the colors on however you want it to be. This is personally kind of how I envision the colors. I don't know. I was actually going for like a purple and red or purple and blue there, but I don't really have many purple pieces. Like, seriously. So these are my Legos. I'm working on sorting them. Like, I've got a bit of sorting progress, but overall I still need to work on it a lot. But, like, seriously, I've been looking through here, and, like, I am barely finding, like, any purple pieces. Like, here's one. This isn't even purple. This is magenta. I don't know. So sorry, the quality's bad. Also, I would really, really appreciate it if you subscribe, because I am currently trying to earn a better camera, because if you don't know, I'm currently filming this on a, like, iPad mini from, like, 2015. It's an old iPad, so it's not the greatest quality. So hopefully I can get something better, but for now, this will have to do. Anyway, so moving on. I'm sorry, got a bit sidetracked there. Let's get to the tutorial. Okay, so we have basically what there is needed to build this. So first of all, obviously, you're going to need 1 piece of blank paper. Now this isn't actually what a full piece of paper looks like. The reason this one is smaller, like, compare this to this one's actually smaller. It's because I cut it down to size a little bit to fit the base plate better. Same with that one. So practically, either way, just piece of paper. If you want to make it look better, you're gonna want some scissors. Also, in order to put these things in paper, cool technique I learned from a channel called Playful. Their link will be in the description. Also, you can use a hole puncher, punch, and practically put little holes in paper and, like, fit studs through. For example, let's see. Let's get 2 little studs. Let's see, here's one. Just need one more. Hold on. Okay, so we got our 2 studs. Practically, all you do is you get the hole puncher, you get a piece of paper, you punch a little hole in it, and it is practically just the right size that you can fit a little Lego brick through, and, like, normal hole punchers actually have a slightly larger area, so it's a bit more forgiving for your Lego brick, even if you miss it, kinda, and it still should be able to, yeah, then you just snap it on, and Lego plus paper. Anyway, back to this. You're also going to need a nice big base plate. It doesn't have to be, like, a certain size, like, just a good big base plate or whatever. For this one, I even used, like, a road plate, so it doesn't have to be, like, all that crazy. And it doesn't even have to be one of these big plates. You could even use, like, some of these plates. And this one right here is just 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And, yeah, but either way, you're going to want a nice little area to build it on. So let's start with our month. Now, I'm hopefully going to make this by March, but I don't know. I mean, you're probably going to be watching this in a different month if you're watching it in this month, good for you. But yeah, so there's I'm not gonna exactly be giving a full tutorial for how to make this. I will probably show you how to make the March and April because I've already made them, but I will not be showing how to make really other months. I have made a December one, but we won't get into that a whole ton. So practically, I'm just gonna give you a few good tips and tricks for how to make letters, and you should be able to make one more or less by yourself. So let's start it with March. Okay, sorry. So sorry for that. So my iPad just died there, but we're back with the help of an extension cord and a charger, so that's nice. Anyway, back to this. Sorry. So as I was saying, good building tip for these is using these pieces specifically. They're very good. Highly recommend them for when you're trying to make difficult letters. For this one, you might have noticed I actually used some different pieces than I do on practically all the other ones, and I actually used these pieces. That's mostly because I actually just ran out of normal green flat pieces. Like, I don't have very many green pieces. The pieces I have the most of are probably red and white, just because I would get so many firefighter sets when I was a little kid. I mean, I still kind of am a little kid, but not as much. So anyway, that didn't happen. So anyway, some cool, interesting techniques for you. You could probably find a lot of other things about this stuff on the internet too, and how to make cool shapes out of and letters out of Lego. But yeah, if you ever want some more tricks and stuff and want me to show you guys some more, just let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, hopefully I can actually figure out how to get comments enabled, because for some reason on all my other videos, it's disabled. So I don't know what the deal with that is, but yeah. So, that is more or less March right there. Really cool. Some interesting building techniques. You can feel free to pause the video. Hold on, I'm going to wait for it. Okay, yeah. So, you can feel free to pause the video, kind of, I don't know, look at it, see if you want to copy it. Made the H with, yeah. Made the H with some of the cheese slope thingies and two of this piece. Plus one of these pieces, as I said, very useful. And then with the help of one of these, boom, bada bang, you got an H. Alright, let's move on to the plate and the paper. Okay, so we have our plate here. It's a nice big plate. It's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, so practically what we do is we get our, once we've kind of made our little plaque, you can put it right there, and depending on how big your plaque is, it could go from filling up the whole thing to being bigger than the whole thing. So, depending on kind of the month, I guess, and how long it is, you might not actually be able to have little decorations on the side. Since I did have more space, I was able to put decorations on the side, and I thought it made it look cool. So, if the month you're making has a more or less small name, and you manage to make a good little small thing, then you should be able to have a little bit of space on the side for decorations. You can come up with, honestly, whatever you want for the decorations. I did kind of like some just green, yellow, and orange little 1x1 tiles, and I thought it made it look really nice and pretty, kind of popped out a bit. Plus, you know, since it's March, you gotta use a lot of green, so I used green studs for all the paper. So, speaking of the paper, let's get to that. So practically, I made this with a few plates. I made it with practically half of this, and then another 8x4, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8x4 piece, and then 2 of these 1x8, and then put little red things on them, and then put it all together. And you have this cute little kind of frame, red frame with this. Also, if you're wondering what this is optional, but it does make it so you can hang it up on your wall. So practically, you get this little piece right here. Really helpful. And then cover it up. And then you can put one of these pieces. I was actually really surprised because I thought it wouldn't really stay very well, because I thought the map or the calendar would be kind of heavy and weigh it down, so it would just fall off and snap, but it's actually very enduring, and so far I've had this thing on my wall for 2 days and it hasn't come off, and it hasn't even loosened in the slightest still. Pretty good. Anyway, let's get to the letters. So I used a lot of different pieces for this. For the M, I used some of these curved pieces that I actually got from a globe set I got for Christmas, but they don't have to be these colors either, so that's the nice thing about it. They can honestly just be whatever. You can even just use like normal bricks. Like I use these things, but honestly, it still looks pretty okay if you move them and take them off. Like if I take those off, it still looks like an M. It's recognizable. It's the Lego version anyway. So moving on. Really quick, good tips for them. The bigger you make your letters, the more accurate you're going to be able to make them. That doesn't mean you still can't make smaller letters, because as you can see in my December I made a while ago, I actually only made them like 4x3. And there's also some really interesting techniques I used in here, specifically on the R, where I actually used one of these pieces and then put a little white thing, adjusted it a little bit, and now you have an R. So one of my best tips for making letters is, like, for example, R. You have this little diagonal part right here, and that's not exactly the easiest thing to do in Lego, but these pieces right here specifically are probably one of the most useful pieces for making letters in Lego. You can just slap it on right there, and boom, bada bang, you got an R. Now, you may have noticed that this piece right here specifically is actually flat. That's because if we have normal plates, it actually will kind of interfere with it and won't be able to go there. So just letting you know that if you're going to have to get at least like a little flat part right there. But overall, it's still kind of nice. Alright, so next up we have our paper. So as I showed you before, you can use a hole puncher. You can get this nice, just normal, cheap one on Amazon even. You can find them practically everywhere. A lot of you probably even have one. Got this little thingy to hold all your staply bits, and it has about a 6mm diameter, so it's pretty good. And the diameter of a Lego piece is about 5.1, so it's not actually a perfect fit for your Lego stud, but that's actually a good thing, because then, well, you know, got a bit more space if you mess up the punch, and then you get two little studs. Put them together like that. One more time. You make a hole in paper with a hole puncher. Then you get stud, put it on one side, and then other stud on top. And Lego plus paper. And with this technique, you can put studs on paper and then attach it to the paper, like I did right here. So practically, I just did that technique and put a bunch of 1x1 studs on. Now you can do it with like 2x2s and just bigger pieces, but I decided to go with 1x1s because they're just the easiest. Then you can just attach it to Lego. Anyway, it's really nice. Also, you might have noticed it's a bit kind of erased and kind of bumpy. That's also because I decided to draw my lines on the thing, which was kind of not a smart idea, but I did figure out that more or less for the calendar, every section, it depends on what plate you're using, but for this one, it's about 4 studs long, 4 studs wide, and then just down. And then each one of these, I don't know exactly how long it is, but you can just kind of more or less make approximate ones and get it pretty good. So I got lucky and I got a good paper. You can figure out kind of how to make that pretty standard: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can also put the year, who it's made by, kind of make it look cute. And yeah, also just a neat little trick for if you're trying to make one, if you're trying to like punch it into, let's say, like something that's bigger, like a 2x2 or even a 2x1 or even like a 3x2, then for bigger things, just a cool interesting tip I learned is that if you want to get the punches a lot better, what you can do is you can get the paper and you press down on it really hard. Now, you don't want to press down on it too hard so that you make the paper break, but as you can see, it leaves a little bit of a print right there. You can use that to your advantage and then use the hole puncher to, well, punch them out. So that's really nice. Also, I would suggest having some scissors on hand just in case you kind of need to snip away at some parts, and so that you can, you know, access the thing a little better. And then boom, and boom, boom. Snip away at it a little bit more, and then boom, boom. And can we get that last one? Snip a little bit away, but practically just kind of staple. And even if it's like not perfect, like as you can kind of see, it's a bit messed up since I talked about how the thing is, even if it's not a perfect cut, it usually can still fit, like so. Now, sometimes you do need to get it a bit good, otherwise you will end up with something kind of like this, and it won't look very good, but, you know, still works. Just kind of be careful with it. It might take a few tries sometimes, but, yeah. So anyway, that's a cool tip for that. So, that's mostly, honestly, it, I think. Base plate, paper, use studs, make paper, cool stuff. You can put decorations on side, and yeah. Really quick, I am going to show you guys how you can put it on a wall. Before we do that, I want to just show you a quick look at the April one. It is cool. I kind of used the same technique for this one. Used just a little plate right here, and boom, April made an R. It's really good technique for R. Even put some little rain on the side because April rain. Also, as I said, it doesn't have to be like a perfectly stud and Lego plate. Like it can have like, it could be like even a road plate if you really want it to be, which is what I used here, and it still worked really good, and I really like how it turned out. Got 2023, got I don't know, like events, you got who it's made by, and you got this little part right here so that you can attach this piece and make it hang on the wall, which we will be getting to right now. Alright, so practically what we do is we just practically get a screw into the wall. I suggest a screw because once you actually put it on, it makes it so that this can't actually fall off versus a nail where it could easily just fall off. So screws are nice because it stays on there really well. Now, a screw might not fit in every household, but that's how I did it, and it works really well. Key to that is this piece. It's a Lego Technic piece, and it's used for Technic pins, but in this case, it can also be used for putting it on the wall, and it's actually really helpful, and yeah, so, and then really all you have to do is just get your little thing right here, and you can just easily attach it to the wall. Like that. And I was thinking it would easily fall, but honestly, it's pretty stable. If you don't actually like apply any force to it, then it will stay for a good long while. Hold on. Okay, there goes my paper crap. Oh no, I bent the paper. That's alright. This is what happens when I try to do it with one hand. Okay, but anyway, that's a cool thing right there, and you can use this technique for like many other things besides just hanging this calendar. Like for example, you could honestly make this, you could use this to your advantage if you want to really hang anything on the wall. Like for example, we got this little guy, and we can just easily hang him to the wall with this thing, and now we can spin him. I don't know. It's fun, kinda. You can just go, woo! I don't know. But, that's something you can do. And it always stays on the wall. If you use a screw, it's really nice and sturdy. And I really like how it turned out. And, honestly, from, like, a distance, it looks like a real calendar. Also, I'm kind of sorry, I'm, like, angling it at the wall. I'm just trying to put it on the wall. But, like, if we go over here, I'm going on top of my bunk bed because I have a bunk bed in my very, 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 very messy room. Also, cat. I'll be doing a video about them later, sometime this month, I hope. I don't know. But, like, honestly, from a distance, you can't even tell it's a Lego calendar. I mean, also, you might want to use some colors that show up a bit better, because currently it looks like it just says AC. AC. Air conditioning. But overall, it's a really cool technique, and I'm really proud of it. I've been thinking about how I should share it with people, because it is a really cool one. I thought it was a really interesting idea, and I've never seen anybody else do it before. And I wanted to figure out how to, share my idea with the public, but it's not like I can exactly just make Legos and sell them to people, because, one, I can't make Legos, and two, I only have so much. Sure, that may look like a lot, but, a lot of it isn't exactly the pieces I need for this, and I just wouldn't have enough pieces to make and actually sell calendars. Plus, I'd have to sell them for, like, a lot of money. Usually, most calendars don't cost that much, but for a Lego one, it could end up being, like, $20. So, I just made this tutorial for you guys to watch. It is turning out to be a little long. Hopefully, I can cut it down with my editing app. By the way, if you were all interested, if you were trying to start a thing, this isn't a sponsor, by the way, they can't sponsor me, but, I doubt they will, considering I don't really make money off my videos yet and stuff like that, but, a good app to use, I would suggest CapCut. It's a really nice editing app, and it's practically free on anything. You can download it. It's really nice. It's what I use. It's probably not one of the best editing apps, but it works, and it's nice, and it's better than anything else I have. So, yeah, that's some advice. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. That's how to make a Lego calendar. Okay, bye. Make sure to like and subscribe.